I need no modern love. My mind in another place in time. Came to time, waiting for you. Fell a while in another place in time. Just tell me why I've been waiting for you. Again, no modern love. Listen, no modern love. Again, no modern love. I need no modern love.
Welcome everyone to the Overwatch All-Star Brawl presented by Star Esports, double elimination tournament dedicated to the Overwatch Tier 3 community, powered by Omnicoach. Visit omnicoach.gg and use promo code Star Esports for 10% off your first video package order. Today we have Honey Badgers versus Tidal eSports Lullaby in match number 2 of the lower bracket. I'm Poor Zach, and today I'm joined by Sir Waltham. Sir Waltham, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, Sir Waltham here, caster, watcher of Overwatch, and person who's excited to see these two teams kind of go up against each other. This is, we didn't really get to see these teams spark a whole lot in their first kind of inaugural Star Esports game, so I'm really excited to see what they bring to the table now, now that they're probably a little bit better matched against one another.
Yeah, I'm really excited going into the games here because I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of DPS. Honey Badgers in the previous match played pretty much exclusively 3 DPS, 4 DPS sort of setups. And Tidal Esports Lullaby, who I'm now just going to be calling Lullaby just to make it a little bit easier, they do also run those DPS comps, but they also do throw a little bit of Ghosts in there, as we saw in their last match. So I'm pretty excited to see some hopefully big DPS plays today.
Yeah, big DPS does seem to kind of be the make or break of today. In our earlier games versus TE Lullaby and excuse me, I'm thinking of a different game. We're talking Metamorphic and RPI from earlier. The DPS wasn't quite enough to pull it out. I'm hoping this time we're going to see a little bit of a change of pace, seeing the DPS pop off a little bit more. It always makes for good Overwatch. It makes for good play, and it's pretty interesting to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Watching players on the DPS able to pull off these amazing plays, which not only happens on the DPS, of course, we still got to recognize the tank play and the support play. Really, any player can make these amazing plays that can make or break the game for them. And I'm expecting to see a lot of plays from, honestly, both sides. I think this is going to be a really good match. I think it's fairly even, and I wouldn't be surprised if we went into maybe even a map 5 tonight, which would be pretty nice because you always love seeing those really close matches.
Yeah, they always like putting us on a little extra work too. I can't say I'm too far opposed, Zach, but we will be starting on Oasis, which, you know, it has kind of that mixture of preferred comps that, you know, is to me kind of iconic within the Control style. We have, you know, so many different maps in Control have those multiple playstyle capabilities, and I think Oasis is one of those you can easily count as well to have those, you know, different preferences per submap.
Yeah, definitely. Like you could be seeing a Far Mercy, maybe a quad DPS on one map. Meanwhile, let's say you move over to the other map next, maybe you're on like University, or maybe you're somewhere a little more close quarters, and then you're going to see more of those goats, maybe even a bunker comp. So yeah, really dependent on the map variations on this specific map itself.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be the case. So it's going to be determined most likely by what we start on, what we're going to be seeing here. And to start, it looks like it will be that University map. This map, I'm thinking, going to be favoring the tanks a little bit more, but both teams not looking like they're going to start off with tanks, at least while we get into the early waiting period.
Right now, I'm just kind of expecting to see, like we said, more of a tanky lineup here. You're probably not going to be seeing that quad DPS Hammond on this map in particular, but you definitely have the opportunity to see maybe a bunker. Maybe we just have some standard running goats, which all in all, it's fine. Whatever the team's most comfortable with and whatever helps them take the match, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And when we're talking about goats, we were talking about a little last match how Ana's not been so much, or how Zenyatta has not been so much in favor over Ana anymore. We're seeing a little bit more of the Egyptian grandma kind of getting a little bit more of those nades in, and I think I'm liking it all around. I like the mechanical skill that comes through with Ana, although Zen does have his advantages.
Yeah, for sure, because the Zen, you have all that high kind of damage output, but Ana has way more of a healing output, but still has that little bit of a damage output herself. So I think with that Diva nerf making the defense matrix go out not quite as far, it does lead for that Ana to be played more, as you said. But going into this, looking now where I said probably won't be seeing the quad and the Hammond, we're seeing the quad and the Hammond going up against a bunker. So
Yeah,
this will be very interesting to see.
We're not even going to be seeing the Reinhardt Zarya as I had initially expected, although I don't think I quite claimed that, but we will be seeing the pulled pork get set up on point initially. The grab going out, the hook going to be coming through from Karn. That is an early opening onto Polar. Mercy does not look like they'll be able to quite get the res onto it. Very threatened by that Orisa halt hook combo. The Hammond going to be getting pulled in. Spinbot in a very tough position, going to be dropping down. Although Karn getting a little too ahead of themselves, getting pulled out by Nocturnal. That's what we're going to be building up a bit of charge from that Roadhog. But now the fight's not looking too decisive either way, but it is still looking in favor of Lullaby as they do have control of the point. And we're seeing Polar in the sky right now, trying to just rain a little bit of damage, not building up that rocket barrage too quick. Gonna get taken down by Love while G-Man cleans up the backline. G-Man going on an absolute tear here on this Tracer, getting a three-piece. Magnifique gonna be bringing up Polar, and now the tide is starting to swing in favor of the Honey Badgers, who are gonna clean up point and make it theirs.
Yeah, we saw there was like a really good initial hold from Lullaby there. Being able to get those pulled pork combos in there, and then even when you maybe weren't able to kill somebody instantly, that's why the Mei is there to kind of freeze them and slow them down a bit more, try to get a little bit more damage on them, possibly kill them before they escape. But they can't hold it for long because their mobility isn't that high. Meanwhile, this quad DPS, they're doing their job of attacking from all angles, so it's really hard for them to focus on somebody because they're just going all over the place, and they're just able to rain in that damage.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing Polar taken early engaged. Going to be hooked though right before the EMP comes in, getting 4 members of the now attacking Lullaby side. But the kills are going through for the Honey Badgers. They are not letting go at this point.
Yeah, that was a really good EMP by Nocturnal there. I think what happened was they just knew that they were all pushing up, and because since they were all together, just a quick little EMP wins you the fight. You know, EMPs are just so powerful. It just stops everybody from using all their abilities. And with someone for Zen with his shield, you know, that takes away a lot of his health. But speaking of taking away a lot of health, Chinese food able to get off on Hadouken there really quick.
Yeah, G-Man going to be taking down Love with that Pulse Mine. Might not be enough, though. The kills are evening out. Both sides getting dangerously low on manpower, but it's slightly in favor of the Honey Badgers. We're going to be seeing the spin bot on that Wrecking Ball, just focusing down that Mercy. The whole hog coming out, going to be bullying him into a corner, and it was an invested ult that still left the Honey Badgers with the point.
Yeah, I think though that could set it up for a better retake here now though, but the problem is Spinbot just gets back so fast that it's going to be a little hard for them. Going into this now, looking at the ultimates, Nocturnal, she hits another good EMP like that one right there, 4-man EMP. This could change the tide, but getting picked off right now, Spinbot really not looking for that.
Yeah, we're going to be hearing the Valk come out from the side of Foggy Bear, and in response, or in conjunction with the Transcendence coming out from Jinx, that is a big opening. A lot of ults being invested here from the side of Lullaby. They really want to take this point. It doesn't look like the kills are going to quite initially favor them, but with G-Man getting taken down by Jinx and Love definitely pulling their part as well, it's looking like things might go back to them once more, and in fact it will. They're going to restabilize, and that's a good kill onto the Mercy as well.
Yeah, right now, just after that team fight, all the ultimates kind of seem like they're a little bit more reset. We're going to be seeing on Lullaby side, they're going to have the Infrasites. They're coming close onto the whole hog. But on the side of Honey Badgers right now, they're close to a barrage. They're close to using their Valkyrie. Spinbot, of course, already having that mines ready to place. But Love, great shot on the Nocturnal there.
Yeah, it is a good opening. We're going to be seeing Karn follow up with that, chasing down the Mercy, getting the hook, getting the shots right into the head. And it looks like because of that, it's going to be Honey Badgers backing off just a little bit.
Yeah, doing a really good job right now, Lullaby. Kind of keeping the rest of Honey Badgers at bay, getting these picks, especially Love right now, just getting the one off right there. Now they're not going to have that res going into this next fight, and it's getting pretty close to one fight territory here at 74, so they're going to have to make a quick engagement here to try to do anything. But Karn with a great kill onto Polar yet again.
Yeah, Karn going to be getting hacked and burned down by G-Man to follow. The mine's now going to be coming out from Spinbot just to buy a little bit of distance on point. The mine going to be taking down Foggy Bear. That's going to be costly in terms of healing power. And right now it is looking a little bit favorable for the side of Honey Badgers, but a big EMP coming through from Nocturnal right before they die. Polar returning with a rocket barrage, gonna be taken down with a hook and shot to the face. The whole hog coming out. Karn just trying their best to buy some time on the point, taking down Magnifique with that whole hog. It's gonna be the Brig versus Tracer. You have to think the Brig's a little bit favored here, but the Hanzo and Wrecking Ball coming in to back up. The Dragon's now going to be flying across point, just bisecting it a little bit. Karn going to be getting the res. That is a valuable bring up from the side of Foggy Bear on that Mercy. The Mine's now in exchange coming up from Renok, and that's going to buy enough space on the point for the side of Lullaby to take it.
Wow, talk about a close match there. Going 99 to 100. Lullaby able to take that back, and both teams are doing a really good job there, kind of keeping control of that point for so long. But in the end, I think it was Love just being able to hit those good shots, getting the picks off, so that way they won't have the rest for later. And then Karn just able to get some of them good pulls in. Now going on to this next map here, I think we probably will be in a little more Honey Badger's favorite territory right now, looking at the team comps. But I mean, I could definitely be wrong. But I think that they definitely have the capability to take this map with what they've been running.
Yeah, surprises certainly never fail here, and as we see the gates open up, it's looking like the quad DPS coming out once again from the Honey Badgers. This time, Paduk gonna be on the Hanzo, using that sonar arrow to get a little bit of scouting done. Going up against what looks like a interesting kind of a composition coming through here. Not quite dive with the Brigitte, but we're gonna be seeing how it plays. A little bit of poke coming through from Polar, already quick to build up that rocket barrage. 33% of the way there, already half now. A lot of damage coming through. Chinese food gonna get hacked, but more importantly, Love gonna be taken down by Spinbot. That means the Hammond and the Far are gonna have a little bit more free reign. And the kills coming through now. Honey Badger's taking point. There was not much of a possibility for contest from Lullaby.
Yeah, that was really good there by Honey Badgers, because what happened was Polar was just above there, so they couldn't get onto the high ground. Lullaby just kept taking damage and more damage and more damage, and like, whatever, we just need to get onto the point. So as soon as they get onto the point, though, now they're in the open. They could throw down the Winston bubble, but would it really be worth it at that point in time? And then Paduk is just able to pick off like 2 people, and then it just keeps going down and down by there. So really good job there by Honey Badgers to kind of just keep control of the objective.
Yeah, absolutely. And the jump coming in from the Diva and Winston from Renok and Karn on the side of Lullaby, trying to really claim that high ground space. Polar going to be taking out Karn with the rocket barrage, however, before getting slept. The rocket's going to keep raining. Love taking down Spinbot. Sombra really effective against that Hammond, something to keep eyes out for. Polar taking down that Sombra is going to be a little bit favorable for the side of Honey Badgers, but it's not going to be enough to prevent the flip coming through from Lullaby. The fight's still coming through on point. Paduk going to fire those dragons and get a couple kills. Magnifique deciding it wise to invest the bow, and Jinx dying right after investing that nano boost. That is going to be costly here. We're seeing Polar doing their best to keep the team up. That Pharmacy does not want to get taken out of the sky too easily. Karn going to attempt to do it, but getting demeched for their trouble. They're going to get the point flipped back over right about 23%.
Yeah, and at the start of that fight, you saw that the dragons were coming through, and they actually was able to pick off Chinese food, which is a really good pick right there, because they were at about like 85% of their ulti almost at rally. Now they have it. So I think during that fight, because Spinbot likes to get aggressive there and go in with that Hammond, as he should, that the stun would have come through, and then a 6-man EMP comes through.
Yeah, big EMP coming through from the side of Nocturnal, and G-Man and Polar are going to use their ults to absolutely clean up off the back of it. 3 ults invested, 4 ults invested, it seems, and it's going to be worth it.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna win them the fight, but the ultimate usage there could be a bit overboard. We'll see how it goes, but right now the ultimate advantage is heavily favored by Lullaby, so they can definitely take this point back here as long as they use them right and don't just kind of use them in the wrong positions, like this EMP.
Yeah, EMP
really
gonna be
good right now.
Yeah, gonna be coming out. Paduk and Polar both gonna be taken out. That is the 2 of the DPS's teeth pulled from the side of Honey Badgers, and the kills are going to come through. This time Magnifique dropping. That is going to be all the healing for the side of Honey Badgers, and it's going to cost them the point.
Yeah, now you got to think, the ult economy for Lullaby right now is still very good. They still have their primal. They're almost at another nano. They have their self-destruct. Meanwhile, everyone on the side of Honey Badger is still trying to build up their ultimates. So right now, I think they just need to do a good drive push, see if they can't try to force anything out, and then go from there.
Yeah, absolutely. The Diva Bomb going to be going in from Karn, trying to just fish in the sky for Polar or Magnifique. Not going to quite be finding anything. That Diva continuing to contest that Pharah. You like to see it. You like to see that Pharah kind of not get the free reign. But meanwhile, on the ground war, more DPS are going to fall on the side of Honey Badger's Nocturnal and G-Man, both taking the hits. And it looks like Honey Badger's going to use that as a signal to get out of there.
Yeah, and quite the signal it is. Now that they've gone back, they almost have 5 ults of their own back again here, so that could flip the point, excuse me, very fast. Really, they don't have much of an answer for it. They can't really throw that defense mate or Diva Bomb up now to kind of stop Farm Mercy, and that EMP is going to stop both of the supports from being able to do anything at the current moment. But Polar going down, the Dragon's coming through and picking Love is getting really close here.
Yeah, those Hammond Mines in the alcove area, not really going to find too much benefit. Spinbot flying off the map, it seems. The hack going through on Karn, that is the Diva Matrix out of the game, but it's not really going to matter when the rest of the team for the Honey Badgers falls. And right now, it's not looking good. Honey Badgers need to make something happen. Polar going to be dropping the Rocket Barrage for getting slept by Jinx right afterwards. That is so expensive. You like to see it go a different way if you're on the side of Honey Badgers. Not going to happen. Karn's going to use the Diva Bomb to secure point. That's going to be it. It's going to be going in favor of Lullaby after 2 very close games.
Yeah, 99 to 100 both times. Really could have been anybody's map in both of those. But I think what really set them apart was the Brig was probably a big help in that backline, trying to stun the Tracer, because G-Man's Tracer was just putting in so much work. They were doing so well, and they realized that, so they're like, okay, we need something to get this Tracer off of us. Hence, they got the Brig, and it kind of seemed like once they got the Brig, they had a little bit more momentum going forward, so G-Man had to be a little more passive. So really getting those picks was going to be a lot harder and a lot more risky. Love on the Sombra could try to hack G-Man even if he gets stunned for a second, and then it would be game over. So you just got to think about those plays that are definitely in the back of your mind and understand what your win condition is if you do want to go in as Tracer onto maybe the Ana or the Lucio, depending on who you think is most vulnerable at that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Completely agree. It also seemed like Lullaby was playing a little bit more of the ground game, not worrying so much about the skies. They did send the Diva after the Pharah every once in a little while to kind of mitigate some damage, prevent that ult charge from being built up. But as you said, once they got the kills through the Tracers, they just kind of kept pouring through, and it really seemed to kind of snowball once those first few kills went into effect, and the Pharah all of a sudden doesn't look that great. But still could go the way for Honey Badgers. We're only 1 map in.
Yeah, 1 map in, and 1 close map it was. Just thinking about how just little minuscule things could have changed the pace of the map. It really, like I said, could have been either team's map this time around here. But I think that just seeing all these plays go through here, it's pretty nuts. Like, you're going to want to probably see this stuff a lot more often. So if you do want to see it a little more often, maybe hit us with a follow, subscribe. Maybe even G-Man already kind of taking your MVP vote down below. I would probably vote for him pretty fast there. He did really good on that Tracer there. First map and the second map, still able to put in work. Even with the Brigitte in the back, he was still doing as much as he could.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good players here. You may want to hold. You can absolutely vote now. You may want to hold on, see a few maps in, see if somebody else doesn't also catch your eye. A lot of potential players here up for the MVP vote. So make sure you show us that love, show the players the love, more importantly. And if you like what you're seeing, definitely hit us up with your social media preference of endorsement, whether that be a follow, whether that be a like, whether you join the Discord or a retweet, whatever we got going on. We appreciate you guys' support constantly. But enough fan service, Zach. Let's talk a little bit about maps. Now, we are in the map ban phase. How do you think this is going to go down? Do you have any hints, any inklings?
I think looking at it, Lullaby kind of understood that they were doing really well with their goats-ish lineup. But I think that they really don't have any map that would be bad against them right now. You haven't really seen Honey Badgers pull out goats. A lot of maps, you got to be careful just because of how open they can be. So if they do elect to run that triple quad DPS, you want to make sure that you're going to be in a closed environment, but really that's just going to be what they still feel like playing and feel more comfortable with. But like I said, they did take the last round with that goatish lineup. So I think that's probably the side they're going to want to go to. Maybe we see a map ban on something like Horizon, probably, because, well, it just keeps happening. So I think that's the safe bet.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you?
I mean, I as much as I want it to not be true, I do have to agree Horizon's probably not long for this world in this match. I think that it's not been too favored as far as we've been seeing, so it'll probably be getting the scrap here in the next couple of picks. I mean, I'd be more than happy to be proven wrong, but yeah, there's just kind of so many ways we can see this go. And, you know, I'm not too confident about these teams yet so far. We've seen a handful of games from these teams, but certainly not enough to where we have supreme familiarity with them. You know, I don't think that, you know, 1 or 2 days of gameplay is enough to really fully comprehend what a team's worth.
Absolutely.
But, you know, that being said, we there's also the potential we absolutely see in what these teams are worth. I can't really make any value judgments on that. I think also I just personally would like to see Junkertown as well. We haven't seen it a lot lately, but I do kind of like the roving pirate ship every once in a while. At least I don't think we've seen it lately. My memory might be misserving me.
Well, good news for you. It turns out they banned Dorado, and they're going to decide Honey Badgers to go with Junkertown. So I think here what we might see is potentially that triple sniper. I'm talking the Hanzo, the Widow, and the Ash, which has been super powerful looking, especially here on Junkertown where I've seen it mostly played.
Yeah, I mean, that's it makes sense, especially on that first point. There's a lot of rather long sight lines depending on how you're angled. As well, we often see the Orisa Hog combo come in quite frequently. That pulled pork, you know, has been seeming to get more and more attention as the days go on. I know I've been seeing more of it, and I think it could be used to some incredible effectiveness, especially now that Reinhardt's not as relevant. You don't get that mobile shield that moves with the player. So if you're able to get a grab, you know, around a shield or, you know, outside of a bubble, pulling somebody away from the rest of their team, it could be incredibly effective. I definitely anticipate that we'll see the Orisa Hog come in at some point.
Yeah, absolutely, especially here on Junkertown, like you said. It just feels like it's made for them. You know what I mean? Like just the corners.
Oh yeah,
the good spots you can just sit around, like over there on the top of the high ground when you're defending and even attacking. Like I said, all these corners here, it's just very easy to catch someone off guard with one of those pulls and just be able to hook them and basically delete them depending on who you hook exactly. But yeah, no, I wouldn't be surprised seeing a lot of that pulled pork composition come out.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a little bit before the teams are gonna, you know, lock in. But for those of you at home, worth noting, TE Lullaby now, I believe, going to be on the blue, on defense to start Honey Badgers on the red. I do believe the Lullaby did choose to defend to start, so we're gonna be seeing them hop out here on the defense first, and it looks like they're gonna go with the pulled pork at the initial gate.
Yeah, we got a bunker, double sniper. Like I said, snipers really good right about now, especially Hanzo. He seems to be one of the best DPS, arguably, to kind of play right now, especially on the ranked ladder. I feel like he's really good to play, but I guess that really just depends on, you know, what's going on. But with this team comp, you have so much pressure from such a long distance from these snipers, and when you try to get in close, you have to be very wary, because if that hog hooks you, Jinx will throw on that Discord orb and you will most likely be dead.
Yeah, it's going to be very expensive if anybody tries to get up into the face of those snipers. But to match, it looks like we might be seeing some snipers on the attacking side as well. G-Man and Polar are going to be hopping into it, and we're going to be hopping right into the action. Love taking out G-Man, love then taking out Spinbot. This sniper's ready to make her stand, goodness gracious. We are seeing Magnifique bring back up Spinbot, but it's still going to leave them at a numbers disadvantage. A little bit of cart progress, though.
Yeah, right now you can see they backed off a little bit farther away. They weren't quite holding the close corner, but G-Man entering back now from Love, but Love, of course, is just going to get res right back up. Shout out to the Mercy, able to do that for him.
Yeah, definitely, and you can see both teams trying to play that hog very close to the Orisa, at least they were, and, well, excuse me, we're seeing Karn play very close to that Orisa. The hook going to go out, not going to quite find any purchase. The hog trying to use his right hook to get some Nice shield break going through as well. Love going to be taking the snipe onto Nocturnal. It's going to cost the offense a little bit of DPS. Jinx taking a body shot from the Widow, it seems. Not going to fall for it. Going to get rapidly healed up by Foggy Bear. And right now it's looking a little bit slow for the offense, but they do get the opening pick onto Love.
Yeah, and right now you can see Foggy Bear in the back just looking around, trying to see if they're able to get that res, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to. They got to sit back. And they got to be careful of this Sombra in the backline right now, but Chinese Food going to go ahead and take out G-Man. And it looks like they're going to try to res, but Chinese Food again taking out someone else. Duke this time over here on the Ana. So right now it's a lot of back and forth, it seems, between these teams and picks.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing the Dragons come out from the Hanzo Polar on the offensive. Karn going to be getting slept and then antied as soon as they go for that Hanzo. Looked like it was going to be a greedy play by the Hanzo, but instead it turned around to be a greedy play on the Roadhog. It might pay off the offense here. They're going to be pushing up onto that Orisa, who then gets hacked, already having used that Fortify, going to get antied. The cleanup is going to come through the EMP coming in, only going to be hitting Jinx, who does get healed up by Foggy Bear. Not going to be taking the damage from that EMP. G-Man continuing to win this sniper battle versus Love, also taking out Jinx as a little extra bonus credit here. And they're going to get it through first point on the side of Honey Badgers.
Yeah, really, really good attack there from Honey Badgers. It felt a little slow at first, but once they really started picking up momentum, they really started to pick up that momentum. You could see the sniper shots coming out from both sides of the teams, and it was pretty even for the most part there, but G-Man was able to take it one step up and then just start hitting everybody. And then, of course, Polar throwing in a couple shots here and there. Good sleep dart coming out from Paduk, and now Love taking out G-Man again. So, yeah, no, it's just been super close here with these sniper duels. Really love to see these.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Love taking a little bit more of a tight angle here, facing the window as opposed to overlooking the alleyway. But Spinbot going to get hooked, burned down. Chinese Food quick with the follow-up. Love going to be cleaning up G-Man, looking a little bit anemic from Honey Badgers right now.
Yeah, and I think what's going on right now is they weren't quite all together at that point, which can happen sometimes. And the pull just coming out from the pull getting Spinbot was very big. Losing that main tank, you don't have a shield, so now your supports have to hide behind walls, so they might not be able to get the line of sight on you, and it just makes it really difficult for them. But coming into it right now, they're all grouped up. I think they are going to be ready to go for this next fight when they do elect to take it. Coming up on the alts here, I mean, Lullaby definitely has a little bit more of an advantage here.
Yeah, you certainly have to think so, as they do have that Hog to follow up. The Butcher are going to be coming out doing just a little bit more damage. Polar getting knocked a little bit low, not going to quite drop because of it. G-Man will be taking down Chinese Food, however. Whole Hog going to be coming out from Karn, getting Spinbot trapped in that narrow hallways. Not a spot you want to be in, but Karn going to be getting hacked and cleaned up properly by Polar. Now we're going to be seeing Renok take down G-Man. The kills are going back and forth. It certainly does seem like anybody's fight at the time, but as the Hanzo falls, as the Sombra is going to translocate out, it looks like the defense will hold fast. Lullaby not giving it up quite yet.
Yeah, you saw there in that fight that they actually kind of backed up and went inside of this little cubby hole like hallway, and that makes it really hard for the Sombra to be able to hit a good EMP there. With everyone just kind of not in their line of sight, there's not much they could do at that point. So they went ahead, used it, and now they're going to switch back over to D.Va here. So maybe we're going to see a little more of a slow transition maybe into a Goatish style, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. Going into this next fight, it's going to be really, really detrimental that they are able to get those picks off onto mainly the snipers here, I'd say, because the snipers from both sides are just putting in work, and right now Chinese Food is showing that he is putting in work.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be seeing a little bit of a pullback after that nice Storm Dragon coming through from Chinese Food, really getting the members of the side of Honey Badgers trapped in that little hallway area below ground, and it's just a tough spot to have to deal with those dragons.
Yeah, coming up here, at least right now, they have the high ground for the side of Honey Badgers, and coming up slowly on it, they should be able to knock them off here with this dragon, and it's going to make them really, really a lot more vulnerable and a lot easier to hit since they're on this low ground. They're going to elect to jump on the cart, which is definitely what they need to do. They need to be able to push that. They don't have much time left. The bongo comes out. There's a lot of damage going in now.
Yeah, the fight's going to be brutal right about right now. Renok shield getting burned down, meaning that they're going to have to take the hits onto the damage amplifier. And the hook coming through going to take out Chinese food, but the return hook coming in going to land the main tank of the side of Honey Badgers. However, Spinbot able to get away nice and safe. The whole hog going to be coming out from Paduk, meaning no healing will be available, no self-healing will be available from that Roadhog. And right now, it's Renok just trying to get towards point. We're going to be seeing Karn come in with a little bit of a DPS boost with that whole hog, knocking back Polar on that Hanzo. Nocturnal getting brought so low and eventually demexed. It's looking like the attack is starting to be favored here in this fight, and they are going to make it to second point just in time with 1:35 left.
Yeah, really good comeback there. It was looking a little bit dire, but they were able to bring back Honey Badgers to no surprise. They're going to keep this match as close as possible, and they're going to try to push this as far as they can. And Nocturnal there actually was putting in a lot of support with that D.Va, because while they weren't able to eat the pull initially from the Orisa, as soon as Spinbot actually got hooked, immediately Nocturnal went over, made sure that they were defense matrixed, and that they could walk back safely. So that was a really good play that could have made it completely different if, let's say, they were not there.
Yeah, big wall coming in.
There.
Big wall coming in from Chinese food, going to be preventing the hook come in from Paduk. Foggy Bear and Magnifique gonna both be getting some res. The D.Va bomb coming in from Nocturnal, not gonna quite be landing on anything. We'll clear the point just a little bit. However, it will not spare Polar as Renok continues to lace them up with that Orisa fusion charger. It's going to be brutal, and we can see right now Honey Badgers kind of playing around. Fidget Spinner will not save Magnifique. Love going to be taking the shots onto the Mercy, and with that, we're going to see the defense hold strong and stalwart.
Okay, coming on the offense here, not really too many ultimates to work with. You got the whole hog, but really I think it's just going to be coming down to how quickly you can destroy that bongo. Right now they're going to be trying to go towards the high ground. They got to take care of that Mei, otherwise they're just going to be putting in so much work. And it looks like G-Man trying to put the pressure on. Love getting a kill on a Polar, though. That's pretty big right about now, using up that res.
Absolutely, that res coming through might be the game changer. Chinese food going to be bringing out that... The Orisa going to have Fortify up for a small duration of it, however, not the entirety, as we Spinbot just get absolutely stuffed by Karn. We are also seeing Nocturnal trying to just stay on point, trying to buy a little bit of time for the offense. Does not look like it's going to be too successful. However, Love going to be absolutely cleaning up from this high vantage point, which is so valuable to snipers in these overtime moments. The grab going to be coming out from Renok just to help secure Paduk on that Tracer. The wall also coming out just to help buy a little bit of space, and with that, the countdown timer is going to tick, and it will be Lullaby refusing to give up that third point.
Yeah, and looking at how far they pushed the cart, that is a good distance. Like, that is very, very easily defendable. And I think that if they were to go with a similar comp, it wouldn't be a bad idea. They seemed like they were doing very well on it before, and I can't see them not doing well on it here on defense. I think it could work both ways. It kind of seems like that's how it was for Lullaby. So I can pretty much see them mirroring their last comp pretty much back on the defense, because it is such a good way to not only defend from the point going anywhere, but defend yourself to make the point go further. So it's really just that kind of what happens when an unstoppable what is it? An unstoppable object means an unmovable force or something like that. Something like that. Like, it just goes head to head, and then it gets really close in these team fights, it feels like, and it comes down to pretty much who's just able to get these pickoffs first.
Yeah, absolutely. I was quite curious. I believe it was Honey Badgers on the attack, choosing to go with the Sombra instead of the Roadhog. I thought that was quite an interesting choice, but it seemed to work well for them on first point. I am a little bit glad we saw the swaps come through, but now on the offense, it's beginning to look a little bit like we're going to have the pulled pork come out once again as well. Foggy Bear still going to be on that Mercy, but the double snipers on defense. Nocturnal on the D.Va is an interesting twist.
Yeah, and this is basically the same comps that they had last round. Lullaby switching it up a little bit here, it seems, with Jinx over here onto the Zenyatta. But the defense right now is really good with this D.Va, because the D.Va can eat the pulls and they can eat all the damage that comes in from a hook. But this Mei wall is also just going to be able to do its own thing, where it can just stop them from even being able to get through to them. And Love with another good first pick onto Magnifique. Very big.
Yeah. A nice ice wall coming in from Chinese food, but it doesn't look like the push is going to come in quite from the side of Lullaby. The kills are going to go a little bit back and forth here. Jinx taking down Paduk. That is a large amount of tanking and damage done. You don't have to worry about those Risa pulls quite as much if that Roadhog is gone. Love taking down the headshot from Polar. That's going to buy a little bit of space for Lullaby.
Yeah, and right now, coming back to this point, no one really has their ults yet, so it really is just going to come down to getting that first pick. Like I said previously, Nocturnal going to be demexed here at the start. Definitely not what you want to see. A very good pull coming out from Karn. Chinese food able to back up with that. Another pull coming out, and picks just completely going to the side of Lullaby right now. Just really going hard.
Yeah, it's looking absolutely brutal on point. It's looking like it's going in favor of the but defense still trying to make a last stand. That Mercy trying so hard by Magnifique to stand on point. Not going to quite be enough.
Yeah, but on this phase here, you can hold them fairly, I think, well from this high ground over here in the bridge area. Yeah, it was bridge area. Whether they're going to be able to get there in time before that ground is actually taken by them, I don't know. They're trying to group up really quick right now. They're kind of changing up their team comp, so they might actually not even use that high ground. They're switching over to a quad DPS with the Hammond and Mercy. Not something I was expecting to see here, but I'm really happy to see it because I think that this could actually work really well for them.
Yeah, only thing is Spinbot's gonna have to be pretty careful with this Hammond playing around that Mei by Chinese food. Mei has the capability to catch that Hammond quite out. We'll have to see if that plays into effect here. However, the Hammond going to be stomping right in on that Widowmaker. Sombra versus Widowmaker fight between Love and Nocturnal. It seems like Love will be the victor. Love taking down Paduk to follow. And right now, the offense looking pretty good. Chinese food going to be throwing out that Blizzard. And Spinbot gets out of the Blizzard, but not outside of the standard Mei freeze range. Renok going to be closing up with that. Love taking down G-Man. The Tracer kills, not what you see most often as that Widowmaker getting kills. And now it's just going to be Nocturnal and Magnifique as they get killed. We're making a second point cap look rather expeditious from Lullaby.
Yeah, already with over 5 minutes and not even halfway to go on this last point here. This is going to be very hard from the side of Honey Badgers, but I still think completely doable. They're close on their barrage, they're close on their EMP, and those can absolutely just destroy a team if you are able to combo those correctly. But right now they're just plowing through really quick, so they got to make sure that they have enough time to be able to do something with them. And right now it looks like they're kind of spread out because they know something's going to be coming.
Yeah, Love going to be popping those infra sites to have that foresight, and a big EMP coming through from Nocturnal.
That's a 6-man EMP, but no one's getting on the cart. Oh!
Yeah, Polar going to be dropping the barrage, not quite able to get as many kills while sparing their life. The Tracer Pulse Bomb going to be going on to Love. The wall coming out just to ensure the res can go back up onto that Widowmaker. And Love getting the kill on the Paduk. That's going to be a nice opening here for the offense. This might be their opportunity to really get the cart pushed as far as they need. Spinbot going to be dropping the mines, however, does not seem to be enough to save Magnifique. Spinbot continuing to try to hold behind Karn, not quite able to. Karn taking them down instead. And now the cart's going to be moving inch by inch, and they're going to get it.
Yeah, that map was fairly well taken by Lullaby there. They had a really good offense. It seemed like they were super coordinated there towards the end. They knew that they still could get back to that point relatively fast. But I mean, this first point was taken very fast by both. The second phase was taken a little slower by Honey Badgers, but by no means was it taken. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. But well, it was a good take. They did good. They got it very far, but the momentum that Lullaby had after getting that first point was just a lot more significant, and it made it really hard on Honey Badgers to try and stop that.
Yeah, I mean, Honey Badgers, you know, a lot of times Overwatch can just be as much a mental game as it is a game, and to get into that mindset of, oh, we need to quickly recover, it can make you a little bit panicked. It can make it even harder, ironically, to stop those snowball effects. Well, not so much, I wouldn't call it snowball, but momentum effects, probably a fair way to say it. And it's one of those things where, you know, maybe the Honey Badgers were a little bit panicked. You know, I think that based especially off of the first round we saw in Oasis. We have yet to see the end of this team. I think that they have a little bit more in the tank to go.
Yeah, I think I don't know what map particularly would be best for Honey Badgers, since they like running these kind of DPS characters. Maybe you want to go something along the lines of Hanamura, because honestly, I can see people get away with it on Hanamura. They can't pick Dorado as their next map because they just had Junkertown. Maybe they want to go and play on like Lijiang or some other control map, because those are always they always seem to do really well with the DPS. So looking at this, they really got a lot to think about, but I think this is totally doable.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what I'd like to see, not necessarily so much what these teams will favor, I'd love to see more love versus G-Man on the Widow if we went to something like Anubis. Yeah, I think that first point Anubis, I think it'd be pretty interesting to see just quite how those teams play it. Plus, I feel like we haven't seen a whole lot of Anubis. It might be kind of interesting to see the teams flex in a little bit different of a way. You kind of have a little bit of an Orisa favor in the first point where you hold that mid ground. So I think there's some interesting dynamics that would come forth there if the side of Honey Badgers do elect to go that way. But who knows?
Yeah, I think that would actually be a fairly good choice for them. But Lullaby, they've shown off on their DPS picks too. So I think right now you're trying to think as Honey Badgers, okay, what'll give us the upper hand? But it seems like Lullaby, they're just so even right now. They're going to look to go with Lijiang Tower, another control map, really good for these quad DPS, triple DPS, what have you, lineups. So kind of definitely trying to play towards more of what they have been during this match and during their last match against who do they face in their last match? I think it was Faves 1. And that's where they also played a lot of that DPS lineup. And I think that they are definitely have the ability to be very successful on it. And so going into this, I think this one is going to be probably just as close as Oasis was. It could be either or.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think, going to be the case. I'm not surprised to hear the Honey Badgers picking a control map. It was basically 99 to 100 both times for Oasis. So, when you have margins that close, you think, well, maybe it just didn't. We win one more fight, we win the game, basically.
Yeah.
So I can absolutely see why Honey Badgers might be feeling a little bit more comfortable on this map type. And, they need to feel comfortable. They are in a definite hot seat right now.
Yeah, being it their Lullaby up now 2-0, they're going to have to pull off Honey Badger the reverse sweep, which is not undoable. Completely possible. And I think with how evenly matched these teams are, I think Honey Badgers could do it. I think that they could pull something out of their back pocket. Maybe they have some crazy strategy that no one even knows about. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Honey Badger seems like a very well-versed team when it comes to picking these compositions here. But it looks like Lullaby is going to stick with Bunker here, going on a night market. Meanwhile, over on the side of Honey Badgers, they are going to go that quad DPS.
This is interesting. I'm not too familiar with seeing Bunker so much on night market. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it kind of interacts with this wider open, I'd say, field. At least until you get onto point, you can kind of tuck into a corner. The hack's going to be going on early onto Renok, taken down with 2 shots. The follow-up there by G-Man. Polar going to be taking down Foggy Bear as the res attempts to come through. Kills are now going in favor of Honey Badgers. This is exactly what they needed. It looks like Lullaby is going to fall back just a little bit. They don't want to feed too much ult charge to Polar, G-Man, or Nocturnal.
Yeah, and you could see there actually that they set up a crossfire. The Pharah was over on the point, raining in those missiles, so they couldn't quite rush in there. And G-Man was actually over on the far right side, coming out of the Honey Badger spawn up top, where they could just see from the other angle. So basically there was no other way to go but backwards if they didn't want to take any damage. And G-Man with a great shot on the Love there.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good opening. It's going to cause a little bit of stall coming through from TE Lullaby as they wait for that Tracer to come through. They're not going to have that Mercy to get the res. Now that they are recollected, they're going to be going, it looks like, through the bottom. Looking like they're deciding if they want to take it on the interior or the exterior. Still kind of debating on that. Of course, they're going for a little bit more of a dive style here. Nocturnal trying to get a little bit of early damage, does not get too much. Chinese Food getting the opening onto Paduk, though. That is a very good opening for the side of Lullaby. The hack going on to Spinbot's also very crucial. That Hammond not able to do a whole lot when he's brought without his abilities. And now we're finally seeing some contests go on to point here. Not looking like a whole lot can get done from either side. The big EMP coming in, that is almost a 6-man. Just love getting away from that, and Renok and Karn both getting brought dangerously low. That was looking, at the start, pretty good for Lullaby, but Honey Badgers managed to pull it back.
Yeah, it was definitely looking a little shaky there. Definitely could have gone either way. But that EMP was a big, big part in making it back there. Without them being able to use the ability, Spinbot able to hit that big pile driver onto them. So there really wasn't much they could do. They were pretty much sitting ducks at that point. And looking at the ultimates right now, it's a little one-sided in the ultimate favor right now, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Going to be seeing G-Man pop those infra sites. Speaking of the ultimates, and there's a hack onto Love that might be crucial. Love not going to be able to use those tracer abilities. However, doesn't seem to get too punished for it. And now we're seeing the kills for Lullaby come through, but Polar trying to reclaim things, not before the point flips. And it's looking like there might be a slight pull back. Chinese Food gonna get taken down by G-Man, however. Magnifique taken down, that means there will be no mercy to help Polar, but the fight is still going on, and now we're seeing Honey Badgers continue to ramp onto point. They want this win for control points, and it looks like at the rate they're going, they're gonna get it. Karn getting ejected from the mech. Overtime clock is slowly ticking down. We are seeing more and more members from TE Lullaby getting cleaned up on point as they just try to stall. Doesn't look like it's gonna quite be enough. Foggy Bear taking down G-Man is the opening kill you need, but it's not gonna be enough as it finally goes in favor of Honey Badgers. A breath of relief for them.
Yeah, Honey Badgers did a really good job keeping that point, holding that point. And you saw that they did give it up there at the end for only about like 13%. But that's because they knew their win conditions. They knew that if they just kept trying to hold that point there and didn't back off a little bit and kind of gave themselves a little bit of breathing space, that they would have been picked off a lot faster, and then they would have to come back for another fight, and who knows how much more percent they could have gotten on the side of Lullaby. So they did a really good job. Of course, they had to give up a little bit of percentage, but what would you rather do? Would you rather give up a little bit of percentage or risk losing the map? So they made a really good call there, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly the definition of lose the battle, win the war. But now we're seeing a very interesting comp come out. G-Man going to be rolling with this Bastion, the Orisa as well. This isn't too surprising. We're going to be seeing a quad tank setup here. Magnifique going to be using that Baptiste to just get massive healing, set up the amplification matrix as quickly as possible. Very interesting to see how they're going to be playing around this. The May coming out on Converse from Lullaby. The hook coming through, not going to be landing any net for either team. We're not going to be getting tossed in the air by that Ori grab. And G-Man just getting so much shield break, but still the kills are coming through from Lullaby. This Bastion not finding too many angles on the opposing team. And right now we're seeing the Immortality field come out. And the hook coming through, going to land on the Polar. There's no more shielding for G-Man, and we're going to be seeing initially TE Lullaby take point. And right now kills are going in favor of TE Lullaby. That was perhaps not the way the Honey Badgers wanted that to go.
Yeah, I've seen this team comp that they have that they're running before, and it's worked multiple times for other teams. But right now it seems like that the comp that Lullaby is running just kind of helps negate that because of the wall, able to block them off. So it's harder for them to walk them and get that little bit of space that they want to try to gain there. Ooh. So they're just going to go back. Good shot. Love able to pick off Nocturnal in the back, and now able to pick off Polar. That's double headshots. Very nice.
It's going to be very good. Love really opening up the fight. Magnifique picking up Polar, but Nocturnal still going to be having to come back the old school way. We're going to be hearing the Sleep Dart come out from Jinx. Not going to quite be landing onto anybody, and there's just so many angles that gotta feel that the side of Honey Badgers are playing from right now. Going to be seeing the Valk come out from the side of Foggy Bear. Lots of ults on the side of Lullaby. It seems like they're going to be using them as we see that Valk once again come out. Karn taking down G-Man. That Hog's so good at getting anti-flank until he gets hacked like he did by Nocturnal. However, Nocturnal might just be using it to farm a little bit of ult. Honey Badger's still not going to get possession though.
Yeah, going into that fight was going to be really difficult. You lost your Sombra early on. You had to use your res on the Pharah, and that'll happen. You know, Love did a really good job able to find those picks. But going in, I think they just want to do a little bit of a, not quite a dry push, but just to see what they can get. And to see what they can get Love, as a matter of fact. And going in now, they're a little more built on the alts. Alts coming out from the side of Lullaby. So I think this fight, they might be able to take it as long as they play the cards right.
Yeah, it's looking like 1 or 2 fights left. Karn taking down 2, though. That's going to be instrumental. Renok taking down Nocturnal, and all of a sudden it is not looking very good for the Honey Badgers. We're seeing the Valk come out of Magnifique, but it will be used at best to stall. That is, unless Love has anything to say about it. Getting a triple kill off the back of the McCree play, making it a quad with Spinbot going down. Overtime's going to tick down, and we're at 1-1 here on Li Zhang.
Wow, another kind of point dominating round. Now this time from Lullaby. First round, we kind of saw Honey Badger keep the point as soon as they got it. Like I said, they had to give it a little bit of percentage, but it was a good call. There, though, I don't know. Maybe it was that team composition running into that bunker with the McCree that made it really hard. But I think here on Gardens, if they do want to run a similar comp or possibly even the same comp, it definitely wouldn't be a bad idea. And it looks like Lullaby is also going to be like, yeah, no, this is... We know what comp is good on this map. We are not even going to try to run the bunker here, at least not yet.
Yeah, I anticipate Foggy Bear just going to be using that speed boost to get the team out of the gates, then switching over to the Mercy. Yeah, there's going to be Foggy Bear hooking up with Chinese food, trying to get that air dominance once again. And it's looking like a pretty familiar comp on both sides of the field. If my math adds up, it is going to be a mirror comp right about now. Renok doing a lot of damage, as is Spinbot. Paduk getting brought dangerously low on that Hanzo. Not going to quite drop from it, however. These Pharahs both going to have to be playing a little bit carefully as they have to worry about both each other and their opposing Widows. Spinbot getting hacked. Going to be a decent opening, and it looks like Lullaby going to take advantage to try to get some positioning on point, or at least Renok will. Spinbot going to be getting hacked. Renok there with the follow-up. G-Man trading for Love is a good opening, meaning G-Man going to have a little bit easier of a time focusing on this guys. But Renok absolutely cleaning up point right now, doing their best as tank to just hold it down despite being hacked. Going to be going in. Jinx getting G-Man. This is a good opening for the side of Lullaby, despite the kills going about 50-50.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, Renok was just able to get off a couple of really good picks. Speaking of which, getting res back now. But yeah, Renok, it was able to pick off like 2 people there right after Love just got picked off by G-Man. But now Love's picking off Magnifique. And G-Man picks off Love. It's just so back and forth with these snipers. It's really hard to keep up at sometimes. Good hack on a Chinese food here, though. Could let Honey Badgers start to make their way towards the point a little bit more here.
Yeah, Chinese food going to be able to retake to the skies. However, the Sombra hack not lasting for that long. We're going to be seeing members from Honey Badgers file on to point. Magnifique going to be popping that Valk in response, perhaps, to the Dragons coming out from Hanzo. Going to be seeing a number of members from Honey Badgers on the point and to respawn. We're seeing Lullaby try to come in. The mines coming in, not going to be landing, not going to be getting hacked by the EMP. Renok taking down Spinbot. Renok getting some surprising effect with those mines. Gonna be holding the point with just that ult at the start.
Yeah, I believe Love got 4 again during that fight, which is insane. Getting 4 last fight, getting 4 again this fight. Love is really, really putting in work now. So much work. You might even want to elect them for the MVP with all these shots that Love is hitting. Nocturnal able to take down Love, though, and kind of end that rampage. Now G-Man showing, hey, I can Widow too. Check this out.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the hack go on to Foggy Bear. And Chinese food going for the barrage, but without them there, it's going to be difficult to stay online. And now we're going to be seeing Spinbot cap it back. We're going to be seeing Honey Badgers get some progress now.
Yeah, now that they have control of the point, it did take Honey Badgers a long time to get there, 84%. But now you got to think they could definitely do the 100 hold here. I think right now, though, that EMP from Karn could be the win condition here. If you get a good EMP, I think you potentially end this round. Getting the hack on a puller with the EMP, able to pick him off, though. So that's important.
Yeah, the early kills and pretty much all the kills going to be going in favor of the side of Lullaby. This is looking very good. They are getting close within 1 or 2 fight territory, and as they flip it, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and that late pick on a Nocturnal is not something you want to have happen, but sometimes it do be like that. But they have enough time to make it to the point here. They were able to cap it before they hit over like 90, which is really a hard task to do, but Love, now that they've been given their space back, they're just going to keep taking headshots free, and they're not going to be able to make it to the point in time.
Yeah, Lullaby going to be holding it, just not quite the contest coming through from the Honey Badgers. They had a couple good maps here, but they just weren't quite able to pull it out. It's going to be TE Lullaby taking it 3-0 tonight.
And honestly, I know it was a 3-0, but it was a close match. Like,
Yeah.
Both of these teams had their highlight reels, in my opinion, especially Love right there with that play of the game. Able to pick up 32 elims right there.
Yeah, it was looking so spicy from that Widow player, especially, you know, on that last map. If you're asking me, you know, opinions on the MVP polls, which Twitch chat, I want to see you guys throwing some votes in there. Definitely going to be hyping up the sniper battles that were going on on Gardens. It was just seeming like Widows were pulling headshots out of thin air, out of their pockets. Every single place you could conjure something, they had headshots. It was amazing.
Yeah, there's no surprise there. And actually, I believe we have a player in here. Sir Waltham, I believe we have Love.
Yes, we do. We have Love from TE Lullaby. Love, how are you feeling about that game?
I'm feeling good. Having our... Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely... Excuse me, you definitely seem to be performing very well on that Widow in Gardens. I honestly, if I was performing at that level, I'd have such the adrenaline rush. I would be able to calm myself down. What was kind of your mindset going into that last submap?
My mindset after the first map?
Yeah.
Oh, after the last submap?
Going into Gardens on Lijiang.
Gardens on... I think it was just... Yeah, try to focus on our quadruple DPS and try to do as best as possible. Take different angles. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly seemed to work there. Is quad DPS kind of the preferred for your team, or is there another comp that you guys are kind of keeping in the works? You know, you like playing, but it's still kind of in development, or is it pretty much quad DPS the favorite for now?
I think with the rumors of and almost confirmed 2-2-2 lock incoming, I think we're experimenting a lot, but I think the quad is our most safe bet so far in team play.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly makes sense. We hear a lot about teams kind of getting that prep for the 2-2-2 incoming end. You know, I think it's really wise that teams are kind of transitioning onto that. Now, you know, we saw you on a handful of heroes tonight, but as a DPS player, or I guess just in general, it doesn't have to be DPS play, when you're just hanging out playing, you know, some quick play, or whenever you're just on the ladder, what's your preferred go-to character to just kind of have fun with and, you know, giggle around with?
Have fun with? I would say it depends if I'm doing good or bad. Like having if I'm doing good, then it's of course like Widowmaker or Tracer. But just when I'm tired or just want to have fun, I think it's Wrecking Ball, because you can often just sit back and not do much while playing it. Stuff like...
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems to be the case. Wrecking Ball, one of the, I don't want to say straightforward, but I guess less mechanically demanding heroes. You still have to land your smashes, your hooks, all that kind of stuff, but it makes sense. Interesting to hear you go kind of in the way of tanks. I was expecting something along the lines of Torb or Doomfist. We usually hear those kind of sillier answers coming through from our DPS players. Okay. So the next question, probably going to be a little bit harder for you, Love. This one you might have to talk about your team a little bit here. But as you might or might not know, we have an MVP chat or an MVP vote going on in Twitch chat right now. Of the 6 players we saw tonight, you can include yourself in this. Who do you think was popping off the most to deserve that MVP vote in Twitch?
I feel like I was playing really good today, so I would say me, but I don't want to be selfish. So I'd probably say either Chinese food or I don't feel like I don't want to exclude anyone, but Chinese food. Anyone of ours on our team, I feel like we all did amazingly good.
All right. Well, I mean, I can't blame you. I know I put spot there, but gotta get the player view. You know, I like knowing how it looks on the battlefield. And I guess I got one final question for you. Do you have any words for Twitch chat? You know, now that you're kind of coming off this win, do you have any final words to kind of sign off with here, love?
I should have better for this. But yeah, Lullaby. Yeah, let's go.
That works for me. Let's go, dude.
Let's go, dude. Indeed. Well,
Let's go, dude.
love, thanks for coming in here and chatting with us, getting put on the spot by a couple of my questions.
I'm sorry for not talking good.
It's no problem. I never expect anybody to do their research. I definitely didn't think you were had in mind to be coming into the caster's booth, but thank you very much for doing so anyway. We'll go ahead and let you go so you can go ahead and decompress with your team, kind of celebrate a little bit, and continue doing on whatever you guys are doing. But once again, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for casting.
Absolutely. And with that, poor Zach, all we have left to do, I'll let you do this one. This time around is announce the viewer's MVP for the night.
Tonight, the viewer MVP goes to, drumroll please, Paduk. Support from Honey Badgers. Amazing. Both teams putting in so much work there. I think anybody really deserved this MVP tonight. Paduk, though, definitely kind of showing off a little bit more of their support skills. Able really to use utility in their favor. Weren't able to take the match win today, but definitely a good game nonetheless.
Yeah, you can't be too upset about it. And once again, congratulations, Paduk. Congratulations, TE Lullaby. To the Honey Badgers, we're so sorry to see you go, but we hope to see you in future Overwatch All-Star Brawls. We have one every month, but we're going to be going ahead and signing off here. We look forward to seeing more exciting action on the next few casts here at the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl. If you did like what you saw, be sure to drop us a follow, a like, a subscribe, whatever your preferred method of social media endorsement is. And thank you guys very much for tuning in here tonight. But for your casting talent tonight, I have been Sir Waltham. You can catch me on Twitch or Twitter, Sir Waltham, WALTHAM.
And I have been poor Zach. You can catch me on Twitch, YouTube, find me on Instagram, really, even if you wanted to, all at poor Zach. Twitch, you can catch me streaming anything from Overwatch, playing the game, or watching VODs, maybe Battalion, CSGO, Rainbow. I just love playing games in general, so feel free to ever come around if you're bored, or why not?
Absolutely. And with that, folks, we want to wish you guys all a great night, and we hope you stay safe out there, everybody.